gonna make it, aren't we, sir? I don't want to die out here.
Chief, I'm picking up movement.
Report.
Heads up, everyone. This is it.
No human life signs detected. Captain, the cannon was my last offensive option.
Get Cortana off this ship.
We need to go right now. If I still had fingers, they'd be crossed.
Halo's a terrific game. It was a great looking game, it was a great sounding game, it was intelligent, it put the brains in action, which was really nice and rare. Halo is terrific.
Basically it has to do with some aliens and some marines and some killing and some multiplayer craziness.
And it just sucks you right in. You really are transported to another world. Right from the get-go with the music, and you're like, wow.
Just everything from like the weapons that you use, the reality of the game itself, the graphics. Add on top of that, like a fat soundtrack, and on top of that, you have the feeling of a movie setting. You just gotta say that the game is top 5 all time.
You know, there's people who are purists, you know, for FPS games, those first-person shooter games. They say they've gotta be on a PC. They defied what everyone was saying about that, you know, that you didn't need a mouse, you didn't need a keyboard. Easily one of the best games of all time, probably the best.
Halo came out in 2001, I believe, from a small company called Bungie.
Well, basically, when Halo first came out, it was going to come out for the Mac.
A lot of Mac enthusiasts just cried all night when Microsoft came in and bought Bungie.
Then what happened is that Microsoft basically said, all right, you're going to make this for the Xbox.
And the great thing about Halo is that the Halo came out on the Xbox, which finally gave reason for people to buy an Xbox.
Halo was like the flagship title for that system. So everyone buys Xbox, they get Halo right off the bat. Boom.
Halo sold 4 million copies, I think, and that's in a 4-year span. So carry the one, bring down the... That's 1 million games a year. Now, they're doing something right.
You know, for the most part, most games have really bad plots, but Halo really had a complex plot and it was really watchable. Halo was just really innovative for that reason alone.
It was clever in a way that was very inspiring. Like you sort of wanted to get deeper into the game so you'd learn more, so you'd uncover more. It's what a story should do.
Basically, Halo is about this super marine in a big suit called Master Chief.
And he's the last of his kind, which are genetically enhanced cyborg soldiers known as Spartans. Basically, he needs to stop the Earth from being invaded by the Covenant, which is an alien force.
As far as video game character names go, Master Chief ranks somewhere around Jumpman, maybe right below the nameless guy from Doom.
It's a story about one ship that makes a warp jump, like a random warp jump, and it ends up somewhere in space to lead these aliens away from Earth. And they end up next to this big ring called Halo.
The whole game, you're battling the Covenant, but then you realize there's this other alien race called the Flood.
Hold still! Hold still! Let him have it!
And once, you know, you get flooded, you get attacked by this infection, you know, you just turn into this, like, giant, ugly mass that looks like a big ginger root.
Well, in the course of that, you find out that the ring was made to stop the flood. But the only way to stop the flood completely and to be completely safe is to sanitize the entire universe of all life.
The only way to stop the flood is to starve them to death. And that's exactly what Halo is designed to do. Wipe the galaxy clean of all sentient life.
And so, Master Chief is our hero, and he runs through Halo, killing aliens, setting loose zombies. Then he has to kill the zombies, kill the aliens, and destroy Halo in the process.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you get on the back of the box. In reality, the game's about, you know, just straight up killing things.
I skip through all the story parts. Like, I don't really care what the story of the game is. I probably should, because that one seemed to be fairly well written, but I'm just like, boring. And that's why I didn't know his name was actually Master Chief and not Master Chef till 2/3 of the way through the game.
Cortana is the artificial intelligence device that is aboard the ship. She's the only girl in the whole game, unless some of those little aliens are female, but after I shoot them, I never really check the genitalia.
She gets into your head and she talks into your helmet and, you know, whispers sweet nothings into your ear for the rest of the game.
Well, there's the entrance to the security substation, but it looks like we'll have to look for another way up.
Yeah, she's just constantly like, oh, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, and she's in your head. She's literally in your head, and you can't get rid of her.
Oh, I see. The coordinate data needs to be... Right. Sorry.
She's a great character because she keeps you in the world. You know what's going on. She's smarter than him, and he needs her.
It's hot to know that a guy has a girl inside of him for a change.
The graphics are, to this day, you know, 4 or 5 years later, some of the most beautiful graphics on any video game.
You know, right up until Halo 2 came out, it was still the best looking game on the Xbox. You know, Halo 2 was the only game to beat it.
It's like the music in a movie sets the tone. The music in Halo is the same. When you're about to get attacked, something's going down, it's like dun 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 dun. And what's that make you want to do? Have some tea? No. Makes you want to pick up an assault rifle and whack some aliens.
I don't know, it sounds like they recorded it in like a bathhouse with the Mormon Tabernacle choir.
It added a lot of really subtle things that really came together. A lot of strategic elements, like only carrying 2 weapons. I mean, it sounds like a really silly thing, but it forces you to just constantly reevaluate what you need and what's the best weapon for that situation.
So you would have to make really delicate operative decisions like, do I want to shoot him in the head with the sniper rifle or in the face with the shotgun?
Yeah, the alien weapons were cool, but I like to stick with the human weapons. The sniper rifle was my favorite, of course. If I had to pick an alien weapon that was my favorite, I'd go with the Needler.
In Halo 1, it's all about the handgun. Just pick up the handgun and try to go for the headshots.
My favorites, definitely, I love playing in the Warthog. I like playing in the gun turret. That, to me, is definitely the highlight of Halo.
It's like the guy jumps in, he's leaning out of the side, blah, 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 blah. And you have somebody else driving, and then somebody else gunning. That's crazy, man.
You got 4-wheel drive vehicles, you have tanks, you have hovercrafts, you have Banshees, which are basically like fighter jets. All your boys can jump on the tank with you at the same time. You can put somebody on the turret in the Warthog and drive them around.
It was probably one of the first games I remember that you could have 2 people on a vehicle. Watching that happen in such a smooth way that was brand new to me.
Yeah, there's so many great things about Halo. The artificial intelligence of the enemy. You know, they hide behind rocks. They'll lob grenades at you. I've seen them talk to each other and send squads in different formations.
They group together, they work as teams, they duck behind stuff.
The AI is really good. Like, they outflank you, they actually, like, outthink you. Especially on the higher difficulty levels. The higher difficulty levels, rather than just give you less weapons and throw more enemies at you, the enemies actually get smarter.
The 4 levels of the game, you have easy, then there's normal, then there's hero, and then you have legendary.
There's easy, which is for pussies. There's normal, which was for my learning disabled brother.
Legendary on Halo is suicide. The aliens are like catching your bullets and like throwing them back at you. It's like, it's that ridiculous.
Another thing that Halo did very, very well is that when you're playing Legendary, you are still playing an excellent game that's very well thought out. And if you can't play it, you're the problem. It's not the game.
Maybe I'm less of a man, but Legendary, I can't do it.
The thing with Halo, that what gives its legs is basically the same thing like, say, GoldenEye for the N64. It's all about the multiplayer.
It brings home to consoles what's been on PC first-person shooters for a while.
You can play it up to 4 people on a split screen. You can play it up to 16 people on a LAN.
The terrains that you can play on are so kind of expansive. Blood Gulch is really great, and you have the teleporter where you can go back and forth between different spaces.
You got King of the Hill, Capture the Flag, just straight Slayer. And you can play these maps over and over again like people did for like, what was it, almost 4 years?
Red team, score.
A really interesting thing about Halo is that it is responsible for the birth of the first ever actually funny machinima series, which is Red vs. Blue.
Machinima is using a game engine. It's a cinematic function of taking a game engine and creating a movie around it.
RedVersusBlue.com is a website who makes these movies by using the Spartans and the Marines from Halo.
A car? How come they get a car? What are you complaining about, man? We're about to get a tank in the very next drop. You can't pick up chicks in a tank. What chicks are we going to pick up, man?
By history, I'm a writer, and so I thought here's a good way that I can write 4 or 5 pages of dialogue a week and stay sharp as a writer and use people without much production experience to make an animated cartoon. And just kind of took off from there.
So if you can't get enough Halo or you just don't have the patience to wait for Halo 3, I mean, you know, at least you've got Red vs. Blue.
Holy crap! Who is running this army?
There are still, if you can believe this, there are Halo guys out there that won't even pick up Halo 2 because they're so dedicated to Halo.
Halo 2 came out November 9th. The date that it'll always be in my memory. It came out and it was basically like a blockbuster movie coming out. It had lines at Times Square, and I mean, it was just like this big phenomenon.
In Halo 2, you could actually carry 2 weapons at the same time. In Halo, of course, you can only manage 2 weapons, so you had to be selective. But Halo 2, you can use them.
Yeah, Halo 2 was cool because you could hold 2 guns at the same time, which was cool, except for then you couldn't push the stroller. you know, with your free hand.
Halo, more than a lot of other games, felt like if like you turned the game off, like the game world was still going, or like if you didn't engage in the battle, your side and their side would still be fighting it out. It felt like you were actually a part of like a greater world.
Halo has life because of all the random events. You know, Covenant drops off a new team of aliens and they're racing after you, and what happens this time may not be the same and will not be the same as what happened last time.
Yeah, I mean, the lesson I learned from Halo, really, you know, you can kill indiscriminately, and you know, as long as you're on an alien planet, no one's gonna give you a hard time about it.
A game that you can play over and over again and always have different things happen, different ways to complete a mission, different ways to kill the enemy. For all you other game developers out there, take note. That's the kind of thing that makes people pick up a copy of your game and hold on to it for years and come back and play it.
Now would be a very good time to leave.